Hi ma'am, good day. This is John Kester Yurag and this is my video clip presentation. Evaluation and learning. Evaluating learning is an ongoing process that starts with assessing performance needs and continues through designing curricula and designing learning experiences, facilitating learning, and supporting the transfer of learning. What is evaluation? Evaluation is a process that critically examines a program. It involves collecting and analyzing information about a program's activities, characteristics, and outcomes. Its purpose is to make judgment about a program, to improve its effectiveness, and or to inform programming decisions. Evaluation is being used to measure students' progress, reform education systems, and enhance accountability for outcomes. School administrators and teachers alike are conducting evaluations of their own to improve school performance and foster creative spaces for learning. Example of evaluation, for example, before you start an exercise program, get a medical evaluation to make sure you're able to handle the activity. Types of evaluation: summative evaluation, formative evaluation, and diagnostic evaluation. Summative evaluation is the commonly known type of evaluation. It comes at the end of the term, course, or program of teaching. It involves a formal testing of pupils' achievement, annual examination, and half-yearly examination in schools. Public examinations are example of such evaluation. Tile purpose of this kind of evaluation is to grade, rank, classify, compare, and promote the pupils. Formative evaluation, on the other hand, is inbuilt with the process of teaching and learning. It is done during the course of instruction with a view to improving students' learning. The purpose of this evaluation is to provide feedback regarding the students' progress by finding out the learning gaps and the weak points. For example, after teaching and testing a unit, the teachers can evaluate whether the content taught was appropriate for that level and whether the textbook had dealt with that content in an appropriate manner, which the student could understand easily. Diagnostic evaluation is another kind of evaluation which is more closely related to formative than the summative evaluation. The main purpose of diagnostic evaluation is to find out the underlying cause of weaknesses in students' learning. But it's also needed even prior to instruction in order to place the students properly by looking at higher level of its achievement. Diagnostic evaluation is important for classroom teaching for numbers of reasons. First, it is relevant to know the entry behavior of the students, whether they are ready to learn or they have the basic skills and information required for continuing the new learning. Second, it helps in knowing the level to which the students already have learned a particular unit. Thirdly, diagnosis helps the teacher classify students according to their level of mastery, and this in turn will help her to work out a remedial instruction program for the low achievers and slow learners. Characteristics of evaluation instrument. Characteristic of good evaluation instrument: validity, reliability, objectivity, practicability, comprehensiveness, adequacy, comparability, objective-based, and discriminating power. Process of evaluation of instructional outcomes. First, identifying and defining general objectives. In the evaluation process, first step is to determine what to evaluate, to set down educational objectives, what kind of abilities and skills should be developed when a pupil studies. Second, identifying and defining specific objectives. It has been said that learning is the modification of behavior in a desirable direction. The teacher is more concerned with the student's learning than with anything else. Changes in a behavior are an indication of learning. Third, selecting teaching points. The next step is the process of evaluation is to select teaching points through which the objectives can be realized. Once the objectives are set up, The next step is to decide the content like curriculum, syllables, or course to help in the realization of objectives. Fourth is planning suitable learning activities. In the fourth step, the teacher will have to plan the learning activities to be provided to the pupils and at the same time bear two things in mind, the objectives as well as the teaching points. The process then becomes three-dimensional. The three coordinates being objectives, teaching points, and learning activities. Fifth, evaluating. In the fifth step, the teacher observes and measures the changes in the behavior of his pupils through testings. Sixth, using results as feedback. The last but not the least important step in the evaluation process is the use of results and feedback. If the teacher, after testing his pupils, find that the objectives have not been realized to a great extent, he will use the result in reconsidering the objectives and in organizing the learning activities. He will retrace his steps to find out the drawbacks in the objectives or the learning activities he has provided for his students. Selecting test item types is an activity wherein a physician learns through their contribution to the develop and review of examination or certain peer-reviewed self-assessment activities by researching, drafting, and defending potential test items. Types of items. First, true or false items. Second, multiple choice test items. Third, matching type test item. Fourth, sample recall test item. And last is completion type of test. Writing test items. Test item writing is an activity wherein physicians learn through their contribution to develop and review of examinations or certain peer-reviewed self-assessment activities by researching, drafting, and defending potential test items. Administration phase. The construction administration phase is the final phase of an architectural design process. After the construction documents have received permitting approval and the actual construction of the project begins, the project enters the construction administration phase. Reporting student achievement, designed to show a student's development of the learning skills and work habits during the fall of the school year, as well as a student's general progress in working towards the achievement of the curriculum expectation in all subjects. And that would be all, ma'am. Thank you very much.